So as we're approaching National Apprenticeship Week, we wanted to conduct a spotlight interview on two ex-apprentices, and I was lucky enough to be joined by Marcus Street and Harvey Skinner, who are professional rugby players with Exeter Chiefs, who have also completed an apprenticeship in advanced sporting excellence. So you're both now professional rugby players with European and two-time Premiership champions Exeter Chiefs, and Marcus previously representing England under 18s and under 20s. So to start things off, how does it feel to step out in front of thousands of spectators on a vast worldwide stage?
It's pretty awesome, to be honest. It's crazy going from, obviously with COVID, having no one in the stands, then coming back to having loads of people in the stands again. It feels like your first experience again, and the noise is incredible.
Yeah, backing up what Streety said, I think, when I first made my Prem appearance with 10, 12,000 people here, and then playing at Tigers where there's 25,000 people, you're suddenly like, you take it all in, but you suddenly get used to it, and that's the key, and then it becomes natural. So like when Marcus was saying, with no supporters here, it was kind of a bit, it was a bit weird. So now everyone's back in. It's so pleasing to hear the sound.
Amazing. So, Harvey, looking back at your apprenticeship experience, what would you say your experience was like to start off with?
It was all right. I had to. I was in here managing my time, playing rugby and training on loan as well. So I had to manage that, manage my body as well. But also at the same time, I was going into Exeter College and doing my apprentice scheme there. So it was good because I had to manage my time and my admin. So I think when I finished it and qualified, it then prepared me in future for my time management, I'd say, which is good.
So would you say there was any standout positives or equally any challenges that you could draw on and potentially give advice to future apprentices?
Obviously, yeah, the positives are learning whilst being able to train is massive, and also being able to meet new people. Not everyone on the apprentice scheme was here. I managed to meet new people doing different things as well. So that was good, and challenge was probably not getting carried away with rugby and having to do the work as well, not leaving it to the last minute and balancing myself. So I would say that was a bit of a challenge, but managed to get through it in the end.
So a question for you, Marcus. Looking into your career, what would you say are the biggest things you've taken from your apprenticeship?
I'd have to agree with Harv. The time management is key. It's making sure you're getting your work done, because it can add so much stress, and that stress can affect you on the rugby field. And it's just timing your days and getting them right that way.
Would you say there's any particular skills that you learnt during your apprenticeship that you still use today? Obviously, there's the actual qualification, but is there any sort of like interpersonal skills that you feel like you've learnt from your apprenticeship experience?
As I said again, it's just that time management. It's just getting things done early, because when you got things building up, you're bringing on stress. And if I could go back again, I would obviously be a bit better with that, because it's something that does help you in the future. And just with rugby now I'm not doing the apprenticeship, I still need to make sure my time management and getting things done, because last thing you need is the stress of bits, really.
So there's lots of individuals at a young age that sort of have those people that they idolise and look up to. Would both of you say that you had any big sort of sporting influences that you took inspiration from when you were younger?
Yeah, I did. It's going to sound a bit cliched because of my position and that, but yeah, I've obviously watched a lot of Johnny Wilkinson, which is just standard as a 10 coming through. I just like the way he went about his business, his whole professional attitude and his dedication to the sport. So yeah, I looked up to him and tried to replicate that, not only on the rugby field but off it as well, like attention to detail and anything you do, just taking time and be precise. Don't know about you, probably some sort of prop, I reckon, innit?
Yeah. Well, I used to look up to Dan Cole a little bit with obviously what he was doing, but I always find personally I didn't want to look up to people and try copying them. I wanted to do my own thing, really. And I find if you're trying to copy other people, for me personally, if I'm trying to copy things that other people do, it just sometimes doesn't work for me. So personally, I just tried to be the best version of myself I could be, with obviously the help of like looking up to people and getting the help around that. But for me personally, it was just being the best person I could be and pushing myself personally.
So this is another question for you, Marcus. I'm sure there's been lots of moments in your career so far that have stood out. But what would you say has been your biggest career highlight?
I would say playing in one of the semi-finals here. I got quite a good amount of time, and it was the 2 times we played Sale, the back-to-back. It was games we needed to win, and then unfortunately we lost in the final. But to be able to participate in the final was pretty, I'd say, one of the best things I've done. Shame we lost, but it's one of them that's just it's mad. It's only a thing that you could really dream of, is playing in the final. So I would say the semi-finals, because we won, but I would like to say the final, really.
Not winning us a scrum penalty, surely, isn't it?
Yeah, I did win a scrum pen over here, so I'd say the scrum pen. Yeah, we'll go with the scrum pen. That's the best one.
And a question for you, Harvey.
Yeah.
Some people are unaware that you can undertake an apprenticeship at sort of any point in your career. Would you potentially think about perhaps post-rugby, maybe topping up your skills and undertaking another apprenticeship?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's actually on my mind now. I don't want to leave it till post-rugby because things are too late. Might get too late then, and you might be rushing around. I sort of want to prepare myself for the future now. So I'm actually looking at potential apprenticeships that I can attend and qualify. That will potentially set me up at a later date. 100% would recommend and do it.
So sort of to round things off, seeing how successful you've both become and sort of ending on a more motivational and positive note, what is one piece of advice that you would give to an individual wanting to excel in their career?
I would go with time management again, just because you just don't need that stress. You need to focus on that one thing at a time. Focus on your work you're doing at college, whatever, things outside, and then it means you can put full focus on the rugby or whatever you're doing outside of the education side of it.
Yeah, that's key, and I'd say enjoyment. Do something you enjoy doing, because if you enjoy doing it, you're bound to be passionate about it, and therefore you're gonna wake up every day wanting to do it and get the best out of yourself and the best out of the job. So my key thing would be do something you enjoy and be able to excel in, and that you're passionate about. Speaking to people is mine.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to meet with me today. Best of luck with the season and in your career. And maybe bump into you again soon.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.